Reingehört, der Rheinmetall Karriere Podcast.
Herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Folge von Reingehört, dem Rheinmetall Karriere Podcast. Ich, Markus Leonhardt, melde mich heute aus Bremen, wo wir bei unseren Kollegen der Flugsimulation zu Gast sind. Wie immer werden wir uns heute darüber unterhalten, was die Kolleginnen und Kollegen hier am Standort machen, welche Karriereoptionen es gibt und welche Voraussetzungen Sie als Bewerberinnen und Bewerber mitbringen sollten, um uns in diesem spannenden Bereich zu unterstützen. Ein Hinweis an dieser Stelle: Es handelt sich heute um eine besondere Folge, da der Bereich, den wir Ihnen heute präsentieren, sehr international aufgestellt ist und wir mit dieser Folge auch internationale Bewerberinnen und Bewerber ansprechen wollen, werden wir das folgende Gespräch heute auf Englisch führen. I am here today with two colleagues, Jonas and Reinout, who will give us interesting insights into their tasks, their working days, and of course also into the working culture in the Department of Flight Simulation. Jonas, Reinout, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedules to host us here at the Rheinmetall Electronics in Bremen. Please go ahead and introduce yourself to our listeners.
Thank you very much for the opportunity that we can express ourselves on the department. My name is Reinout Nederkoorn. I work as a technical project lead in the domain air, and we build full flight simulators and other simulator systems.
Welcome and thank you for the opportunity. My name is Jonas Gentina. I'm a system engineer of flight simulation here in Bremen, working mostly with the simulation of airborne mission systems, so everything related to mission and electronic warfare, tactical radar and visual interface and so on for all the flight simulators that we have here in the department.
Thank you very much for your introduction. We will come back to your personal stories a little later when we talk a little bit about your personal way into Rheinmetall, the corporation. But first, let's talk a little bit about the department. I'm sure our listeners are also pretty eager to learn where the department aviation system flight simulation is located within the corporate structure. Would you be so kind to give us an idea about your department as a whole and its structures within the corporation?
Okay, our department is aviation, or domain air. It's part of Rheinmetall Electronics. We're located in Bremen.
Thank you very much. Could you give us a little bit more detail about the Rheinmetall Electronics, like how many employees do we have as a whole? How are the offices located? What is it like to work here?
We have roughly 1,400 people here. We are growing significantly. I think we're hiring about 50 people a month at the moment. There are several simulation departments here, and there is a central development department. And every simulation department works together with the central departments to develop software, hardware, simulation systems. So we have domain air, but there's also a domain land, and there's domain water.
Okay, thank you. Within your department, are there different teams that work together? Could you give us a little bit more info about the structure within the Department of Aviation Systems?
Yes, we have several departments within our domain air. We have the project management group. We have the group AT, technique, where we do the technical side. And we have the integration parts, and they build the simulators up together. Within AT, where we are both working,
System engineering. Yeah.
We have the project groups, but we also have the system engineering groups. They are the specialists for certain details, and the projects group focus on specific devices or specific projects that we are working on.
Okay.
And apart from that, we also have a project management, which supports all the programs that we develop, integration and logistic support. So after we deliver, we have a whole integration logistic services that are delivered together with the simulator, and they are part of this framework agreement with the customers. So, yeah.
Is everything and everyone within the department located here in Bremen, or are there also, let's say, international locations, offices where colleagues are working from?
We do operate a few training centers in the world, so there people are locally. And a lot of our devices are installed all over the world, and to support them or integrate them or do upgrades, people will travel a lot to those locations.
Okay. You just mentioned the devices you are, let's say, producing in your department. What systems and products are you working on as a team within the department? So to maybe give our listeners a little more insight so that they have an impression what is the final product that we are producing here, that we are selling to the customer.
Okay, it's a diverse list of systems. We do maintenance trainers, where aircraft maintainers can train their work. We have cargo handling station trainers, where load masters for aircraft can train and work. We have full flight simulators, where we train pilots. At the same time, we also operate training centers, so we provide the training itself as well. And we also have a department that works with drones and things like that.
Also CPT, it's a more reduced version of a full flight, but it's only a cockpit procedure trainer, which is mostly software based with virtual panels and soft panels. And also CHST, which is a cargo hold simulation trainer that normally we can connect that with the full flight simulator, but that's for load master and jump master training devices. They are separate, so they can be trained in standalone or in coupled mode. And when coupled mode, the pilots being trained in the full flight cockpits can actually communicate and drop virtual cargoes from the CHST, or the cargo drop trainer, which is installed in another room close to the training center. But they can communicate and train all the steps of a real airdrop mission for a particular training of in an area of specific interest.
Okay, thank you very much. To come back again to the department and team structures, when you work together with colleagues, Reinout, you said there are different fields of work within the department. How, or maybe can you describe how you work together? Are there like limitations, and also the let's say cooperation with other departments? How is it lived?
If we develop for a specific project, of course you have a project manager, you have a technical project lead, and then system engineers that do design the different systems that are included. And then there's the central department where a lot of software developers are, also in different teams. And then for certain work packages we have to find the right person to execute it and get the work together. Then we have the integrators that build all the software together or the whole system together. And then it can go to the customer for acceptance. The company has a few processes defined for it. And everybody follows those, so it's quite. People expect what they need to do. It's organized, but there is also freedom in the projects if you need specific solutions or specific problems to solve.
And I would say the central development team is very diverse, because you can have people from different backgrounds working in different parts of the project. So since, I don't know, a graphic user interface to database to simulation of a synthetic environment. We have people, for example, with gaming development background that used to work in games, but now work in computer-generated forces or computer-generated imagery, for example. And those are specific requirements for different parts that at the end they will combine together in a similar training or in a similar objective, for example. So it's very nice to deal with the different backgrounds of people, but at the end it's all combined into a flight simulation background.
Okay, thank you very much. Maybe a few further information for our listeners. What would you say in your words? What is the goal that the department aviation system flight simulation has? What is its main purpose within the corporate structure?
Well, I think the main focus is military aviation.
Yeah.
but we also do other side projects like training media for flight crews, rear crews, or drop master or load masters, maintenance for ground crews, as Reinout already said, drones and other stuff. But I think in the flight simulation itself, the main focus is operation of training centers.
Yeah, we develop the devices and we deliver those to the customers, to their training centers. But we also like to build our own training centers and then provide the training. And we are expanding our portfolio in all directions. We also go into the maintenance training. We also go into the all the types of training. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. When thinking about all the tasks you're doing as colleagues, as a team, what are the challenges that you as a department or team are currently facing?
I think in projects like we do, the challenges are always the time frames are too short, there's not enough resources, technically that's really difficult, suppliers don't deliver on time. It's your basic project management. I think what makes our project special is that we work with really advanced systems. And since we work in the military domains, data is not always fully available. And you have to work really closely with the customers and the pilots to get the right result in the end. I think that makes it exciting as well.
And on the field of mission systems especially, we have to be very creative because as Reinout said, we develop military systems, and normally the mission systems are the military parts of the aircraft, so we have to simulate lasers, emitters, radars, missiles, weapons, and all of that, and how that interacts with the cockpit itself, with the aircraft being simulated itself. So we have a good environment that simulates that, but at the end we need to deliver something that's training relevant for the pilots and for the air crew that is flying in the simulator. So I think that's being creative is the most exciting part, and how you interact and you integrate those different components in one single training purpose is the most challenging thing. But yeah, I think that's what it makes things not boring. On the contrary, it's always nice, but at the same time it's very challenging because we have limited budget and limited time. We cannot provide the whole world, but we still have to provide something that's meaningful for training. So that's the goal.
Okay, thank you very much for these insights. And how does the flight simulation react to those changes? I mean, of course, we all know, and I think our listeners know as well, currently Rheinmetall as a company is in a pretty strong growth phase. How does your department react to these, let's say, changes that are or that we as a company are faced with?
We can see that in the central department there's pressure on the resources, of course. So we react to that by having discussing with them. There is generally a very good enough goodwill to get good results. So people are quite happy to help us out in the projects, and we need to deliver our devices according to the deadlines. The systems that we deliver are important for the customer. If they can't train, they can't fly, and they need to fly. So I think the key thing is that we talk a lot with the different groups and then find the solutions that we need.
I think sales department also supports in that that matter, and just comes with new ideas, and we have to struggle a bit to do new designs, but depends on what's being proposed to different customers. We have to come up with new ideas, new designs, but at the same time do not lose competitivity to other companies as well.
Thank you very much for the open and interesting information. Of course, our goal today is to also talk about potential new colleagues that you are looking for. and also their way into Rheinmetall, and especially the flight simulation. Could you again give us a short overview about the different career opportunities that the department Flight Simulation offers?
So there will be 3 core departments now: project management, integration, logistics support, system engineering. That I think is 3 main cores.
Yes, building a simulator, you need a lot of different skill sets to get that completed. So we have people that are really good at mission software, we have people that are really good at hardware design, or logistics, or integration. So we have a wide variety of skill sets needed.
Are there, in your words, any key experiences or key qualifications that any candidate who wants to join us and your team needs?
I think important is technical insights, and I would say it helps a lot if you are motivated to work in the domain air. If you like airplanes or flight or things like that, that helps.
Most of not the candidates, but our colleagues themselves, they come from aerospace engineering background, but also there is different computing background, electrical engineering, space engineers or whatever. So a lot of different backgrounds of people, but most of them are technical oriented for this kind of work. So aviation systems is the core word here.
Thank you very much. Are you also open to more junior candidates, graduates, or also even career changers? And maybe what qualifications or training courses do we as a company offer to ensure a good onboarding?
Yes, we're definitely open for juniors, but also for people that already have a career and they want to move sideways. There's a diverse set of skills that we need, so we have opportunities for lots of different people. On the onboarding, when people come over, we help them out. You get a partner that helps you out with the daily organization of things. The company offers also language support. So if you come to Germany for the first time, you get some German courses to help you out. I think you can talk better to that, but if your family relocates, they help you with that as well. So I think we really try to welcome new colleagues when they arrive.
And when it comes to juniors or students, Rheinmetall also encourages working students, the Werkstudenten in German. They work in a reduced hours format, and they study maybe half of the working time. It's dedicated to studies, so that doesn't block them to join the department. And on the contrary, they always encourage, and they also support, and via the Rheinmetall Training Academy, you can do whatever course you want. You just mention that, and that is normally very well accepted and supported. And as Reinout said, during relocation, it's always, if you're moving from abroad to Germany, and especially to Bremen, there's many support. That's also always done via relocation agent. That takes care of mostly everything, to your personal needs, to your family needs, even pets if you have. Everything is taken care of. This kind of sometimes bureaucratic stuff, especially here. You can have some, visas or whatever. All of this agency is responsible for taking care of all this organizational stuff, basically.
Okay, thank you very much. So I want to know, speaking with 2 experts in flight simulations, why should someone who maybe works with another company right now pick and choose a job with us and start with us here at Rheinmetall?
Well, we are growing. We are a large company, so we're a very stable company. In our domain, we're growing. We have a lot of interesting projects ahead of us. So if you're interested in technology, if you're interested in aircraft or in flight, or maybe you're very interested in cargo handling, I don't know. But we offer a lot of opportunities, and I think we offer a very good future. And if you after a while get tired of the air domain, you can always within Bremen move to other domains as well. We do more, so the flexibility is there.
Yeah, most of everything, the projects are really exciting to work. As I said, they're really challenging, but very nice and very keen to work with the colleagues here. The team is very diverse. We have people from any nationality in the department. We have, apart from Germans, we have Dutch, Brazilians, Italians, French, Spanish, and people from everywhere in Europe and abroad. Also, English is normally the standard. So if you don't know German, normally you can get around very well in the department with English. It's very well accepted. And if you want to learn German, as we said, the company also encourages that. And normally the German course is paid by the company. And then I think apart from this diverse team and exciting colleagues to have, the activities are also exciting to do. So it's a very enthusiastic environment to work, let's say.
Okay, thank you very much. If you can say it, or if there even is something like a typical day at work here, how would it look like?
It starts with a very nice cup of coffee. It's a important to mention. We have free coffee and a freshly ground machine.
Yes.
But I think on the technical side, we normally do we have local systems here to test. So normally we do daily meetings in the mornings. Not every day, but even if they call daily, sometimes we're not that strict. But we align on the activities of the day. We mentioned that what is more priority, what's less priority, what is blocking ourselves, so what needs we have from each other, what support we need from different colleagues, different divisions, possibly. And then we go to the cockpits, and that's the most exciting office you can have. Basically, it's like flying. So level D simulators, they're most advanced ones, and basically if you fly in there, it's really like flying the aircraft. You have sound, you have electric systems, hydraulic systems, combat systems or military systems. They're all simulated, so you feel like in the aircraft, and you're testing something that you are developing to help support on the training of pilots. So normally you know all the things in advance, and when the testing comes, we have many pilots from different places supporting us, military backgrounds mostly, but also civilian background pilots. And then we interact with them day by day and say, I tested this, and how does it work? How this can be improved? Is there a special way to operate this? And then it's a very dynamic interaction with the pilots. And then after flying and testing, they normally send some reports to the engineers, and we try to deal with those reports by either assigning them or trying to work in mitigating what is the condition or what is needed on that report to be fixed. Also fixed in the documentation, and what we're going to be there to be delivered to the customers, and so on. This is here on the business trip. I think something else, right?
Yes, the daily work depends very much on the status of the project. Especially in the beginning, there's a lot of design work and thinking work. Then later on, we do the implementation of the software, but also the development of the hardware parts. When the simulator physically is integration, the software is installed, and then the testing with the pilot starts. The factory acceptance is done here in Bremen. The customer comes over and checks it. And then, of course, the thing needs to be transported to somewhere in the world. So if you here are a system engineer, and you work on your system, you do the designs and then you do the integration, but then you also have the opportunity to go to the places in the world where the simulator is installed and accepted by the customer. And usually during the lifetime of the simulator, new requirements pop up, new training goals pop up, and then we have to update it and keep the simulator current. So there's also a lot of work on site. We're currently installing a simulator in Portugal, for instance. There's a lot of traffic going up and down there. I think that all makes it exciting. You get to design your work, you get to develop it, and you get to give it to the customer, and you can see that the customer is either really happy with it or not yet so happy, and then you have to do some improvements. But at the end of the day, you're supporting an important thing for countries and for people.
Okay, it sounds very interesting. Maybe coming back to yourself, could you give us a short overview about your way to Rheinmetall? How did you apply? What was your experience when joining the company?
I'm an aeronautical engineer from background, and I had a few other jobs before I joined Rheinmetall, but I was already in the flight simulation active, and that job ended, and I looked around, and Rheinmetall just started an interesting project with the Brazilians, so I joined that project, and I've been now here since 2016, I think, and enjoying my life here.
In my case, I have informatics and computing background. Then I did a space engineering master's in Brazil, so I come from Brazil. After that, I worked for 2 years in Leonardo, in UK, in the southwest of England, and also military helicopters. And then I'm on the defense industry since 2010, more or less. So because of the background in the defense companies, Rheinmetall call me, and then they say, we have an interesting project here. It also applies to Brazilian Air Force, and as Brazilian I found that quite interesting, and then I joined here in 2018, and I've been working in the same topic since ever, and never get tired. It's really nice, and Bremen is also nice. It's a nice place to live. It's north of Germany, and it's the weather here is better than England, I can prove, at least. But I think community is good. There's a very international city as well. We have other companies here that also encourage people to go, to have different type of international colleagues. So this diverse place and environment, it makes it me more motivated to work. So
Thank you very much, Jonas Reinout. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk with us today, giving us these interesting insights into your field of work. Thanks again. It was really nice talking with you about flight simulation and the career path, and of course also your story when joining us here at Rheinmetall.